is one that I get asked about all the time when I use it in public. Hey there, welcome back to Limabean Living. If you're new here, you actually caught me in the middle of a little series. I am every Friday this month posting my top 10 in some category. So this week we are going to be talking about my top 10 favorite products. I will try my best to find links to all of these items or something at least resembling them in the description box below if you guys are interested in shopping for these things yourself. And I also want to mention that today's video, along with all the videos in this series, is in collaboration with Karenique's Corner. She is a fellow YouTube mama, and we haven't met in person, but it feels like we're already friends. And so I'm super excited to be pairing up with her to give you guys an additional 20 products that are her favorites. And maybe you'll find something that you like from her as well. So make sure you go on over to her channel and check out her videos, especially the ones in this series, and show her some support, please. Let her know that I sent you. But without further ado, let's get started. All right, so I'm actually in the middle of packing up to move. Our family is in the process of getting out of the Army and moving back home. So things are kind of crazy around here, and that's why this series is kind of a sit-down series. In no particular order will I be going through these either, because I've just kind of piled them up on my bed. So the first one is this drying rack that I got off of Amazon. It's really awesome because it is a space saver. It is pretty big. I want to say it's like 2 feet by like, I don't know, 15 inches or something. But it rolls up nicely. I want to say that this is like a silicone type texture or material. And I really like this product because I've noticed that in the past, before I had this, I would wash cups, then I would put them on my little like fabric mat to dry, and they'd always have like the moisture like in the cup, and it would just stay there, and then you like lift it open and then it smells kind of weird or whatever. This is nice because you can just put it over the sink, the water or the liquid will just run out, and you can get that kind of airflow as well to kind of dry out your dishes. Moving on, another little Amazon product is this Grape Cutter. It's an OXO or OXO. I don't really know how they intend for us to say it, but it comes apart. So the little blade portion comes off. This is what pushes the grapes through the blade, and it's like a little X. So this is to really help make sure that your kiddos are safe when they are eating their grapes, because it's actually not good practice to cut the grape just in half, because that can still get stuck in your little kiddos' throats. Now, the only downside, I think, is it is difficult to clean the blades because it's like in such a weird little area. And so sometimes I'm with like a little toothpick and trying to get everything out. But aside from, you know, the slight struggle of cleaning it, it is very helpful, because before I have this, I would be cutting each little grape into like fourths or eighths, depending on how old Aubrey was, and it just took forever. And this is great because it's just like pop, 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 and we're done. So if you get sick of cutting like cherry tomatoes, grapes, if you cut olives, anything that's like, you know, grape size, this is for you. Another one of my favorite Amazon finds are these silicone baking like cupcake liners. Now, I have used these for like when I made homemade ice cream in my new to-do series. I pretty much scooped out 1 scoop of my no churn ice cream, put it in here and froze it. And then it was really great because when I was eating it, then you don't even need a spoon. You just kind of like peel this back and you can like be taking bites of your ice cream. For those of you guys who don't have sensitive teeth. But these work great. You don't have to use any cooking spray or anything like that. The muffins pop out and they wash well. I've thrown them in my dishwasher. I don't know if you're not supposed to or not, but they come out fine. So for me and my dishwasher, I put it in and it comes out nice and clean and ready to be used all over again. One of my other favorite products is actually our steam mop / vacuum. It is Bissell brand, and we actually had to have ours replaced because our first one was leaking, but we haven't had any issues with our replacement. And I really like how they took care of us when we did have a little issue. But I really love the steam mop because it also is a vacuum. So you can turn on the vacuum and just vacuum your floors by themselves, or you can have the steam mop going at the same time. It has a little trigger in the handle, and I love how clean our floors feel after we are done using it. I've used it in a variety of my cleaning videos, and seriously, you guys, like, I can walk around without having to have socks on, and I don't feel like there's any even little bit of residue on the floor. It does a great job cleaning the surface, and I feel safe if Aubrey throws a piece of food on the floor and then picks it up and eats it. Like, no worries about the cleanliness of the floor if that ever happens. The next product is something that I actually got, I want to say when I was pregnant, because I heard that this was like the thing you need. And even when I am not pregnant, I still really like this product. So it is a foot scrubber, and it has little suction cups on the back to just stick onto your shower wall after you're done using it. But essentially you just put this on the floor, you can stick it down so that it stays in place, put some soap on it, and then rub your foot like back and forth, and it will clean your foot. And so when you're huge and pregnant, this is great because a lot of times you can't really get down to your feet as easily, and it's much better just to stand up and wash your feet that way. And so I am really happy that I went ahead and got this foot scrubber when I did. Hopefully they still make them and I can find the link for you, but if not, I'll try to find something that is similar to it. Like I said, I got this a long time ago, but it works great and I really like it. The next product is one that I get asked about all the time when I use it in public. It is this Chicco hook-on chair. It's a 360, and I'll try my best to show you how it's used. But essentially your kiddo will sit in this chair, and these guys clamp onto the table. So we have like this little trigger here. You pretty much sandwich the table between this piece and this piece. And then once the table is under this bar, you go ahead and push this up and it will lock it in place. And I think that this holds, let's see, children up to 37 pounds, and it fits tables 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches thick. Now, the downside originally was, you need a pretty good amount of table to hook this onto. It didn't work on our little bar like in the kitchen, which is something that I was hoping for, but it's reasonable. I'd rather be safe than sorry. The other cool thing is that it comes with its own tray. So if you are out at a fast food or a restaurant place, you don't have to worry about like the baby putting food on the table and getting it all dirty. This literally snaps on to these bars and comes with its own little drink holder, and even the tray itself has like ridges so that it is more difficult for like the round objects to roll off this tray. And finally, I said this is a 360 because this chair actually spins. So if we lift up this little handle here, we can turn the chair. So now let me turn it towards me. If we were at a restaurant and Aubrey was hooked in like right next to me, but I wanted to have her face me, it's easy. You just kind of move her around and you can do it with the kid in the chair. At least I haven't had any problems with that. If you have a naughty kid and need to put them on timeout and they want to face away from the table, you can do that too. And it pretty much goes all the way around. So it's really great if you want to then say, okay, face your dad, daddy's going to take care of you and feed you or whatever. We got this at Target. I want to say it was around like $70 or $80. So it is a bit pricey, but in my opinion, it is well worth it. I really like how there's no gap between your baby and their food. Whereas when you use like the high chairs provided by the restaurant, a lot of the times there's that big gap between the baby and the table. And then you have to worry about like food always falling down there. Now food can still fall, it gets in here and we've had to wash this thing and it comes off, it unbuttons or whatever. So cleaning it is still doable, but I really like knowing that like we've cleaned this tray, only she's used this tray, And as far as like sitting close to the table, you know, she can be with us. You don't need those extra high chairs where they're still like facing the table like this. And so I think it is well worth the money. The reason why I actually looked into this was when I was little, we had like a very simple version of this chair. And I really liked the idea back then. And so I was like, I'm sure they have updated ones. And this one is awesome. So there you go. One of my favorites. This next product is actually one that was gifted to us when we had Aubrey. And it was one of my friend's like favorite things. I wish I could combine this with another product and I'll explain why. But this is a little t-shirt bib for your kiddos. So the kids put their arms in and then you tie this in the back. And it's great if they're gonna be dealing with sauce or anything that you're worried that they're gonna then like wipe on their shirt. This is like full coverage from all the way to the little wrist. It's elastic, so it like, you know, just kind of hugs the baby's wrist. It doesn't cut off circulation or anything like that. The one thing that I wish that this bib did have was one of those like rubber little pockets instead of these fabric pockets. As most of you guys know, fabric pockets don't really catch anything when you're using them on bibs. And so I've kind of figured that these are a little pointless. I really like this product because of the sleeves and the full coverage, and I can give Aubrey barbecue sauce and not worry about it like staining her clothes. This also is machine washable, so it's great just to throw it in and not have to worry about it getting all disgusting and having to like wash it by hand or anything. I do wish that this was like a combo of two bibs. So there's those bibs that have like the rubber like opening of a pocket and it stays open the whole time. If this had that at the bottom, it would be like so cool. But right now it's just really cool. Now the next item is actually our cold brew little system. It is really awesome because you just grind up the coffee to coarse, and even if it's a little fine, that works too as well. You put it in this little center container and then pour water on top until you've reached the desired level and let it soak at least for 12 to 24 hours. And your cold brew is done without having to worry about tons of filters and stuff like that. Now, before Juan bought me this product, I would go ahead and just put like coffee grounds and water into a big container and then let it soak. And then I'd have to take like coffee filters and use like a sieve and pour the coffee, thing through this filter, and it just took forever. And so this product is great because all you have to do then after you're done is dump out the grounds and, kind of wash out the little center part, and then you can start using it again. You don't have to worry about all of the filtering. It takes care of it for you, and it is so much less work. So if you are a cold brew or iced coffee drinker, kind of like me, I really recommend this product. Another one of my favorite products is actually my, again, OXO or OXO food scale. Now, I'm sure that other food scales work just fine, but I think just the idea of a food scale is something that I like. This one's cool because if you have like a really big item that you are weighing, the little weighing part or the digital display you can pull out so that it doesn't get stuck under your big bowl. But these are great, especially if you're like me and you're counting calories and you really want to be very specific about how much, food you're eating, how much chicken, how much cheese you're using, how much milk I'm putting in my coffee. And it helps you avoid dirtying up a bunch of measuring cups. The other thing that actually is really nice is if you're baking with this, sometimes a food scale is a better way to go than actually measuring cups because there can be little pockets of air in your flour. And if you just know exactly how much weight you should be putting in of flour and sugar, you don't have to use measuring cups anymore. You just kind of scrape in whatever amount that you need. And you can probably just go forward knowing that your little concoction that you've made up is actually probably more specific to the recipe or more accurate to the recipe than you would if you actually used measuring cups. My last product is kind of like a 2-in-1 because they kind of go together, but they were separate purchases for us. So the first one are these little spoons for baby food. Obviously, we don't have to use them right now, but I will be using them in the future. So if you buy any of those little pouches of baby food, These fit on, I think, most brands. You just screw it on and then you push the baby food out and it comes out through that little hole. And the material kind of makes the baby food just kind of slide, you know, like slide down the spoon. It doesn't get really stuck or anything like that. They're pretty easy to clean. I'm pretty sure these guys were dishwasher safe. And you get 2 of them in this little pack, and it comes with a little carrier case so you can put it in your diaper bag or whatever. So these were an awesome find for me. I, like I said, really enjoyed them. For most of you guys following us, you know that we're on WIC because of just how the military works out right now with the payment. So anyways, on WIC, we got a lot of baby food, and the baby food came in containers and not pouches. The pouches I don't think qualified or whatever. And so that is where part 2 comes in. I purchased these like recyclable pouches that you can wash in the dishwasher. Although I would recommend like rinsing it out first, just because, you know, like things can bend and then not everything gets washed. They have a little Ziploc at the top right out here. It shows you where you should be filling your food to max so that you're still able to close it and it doesn't just all explode. And the little cap gets screwed off. And so this is great. They are able to be put in the freezer, and that way you can kind of like prepare a whole bunch, freeze them, and then take them out to defrost when you need them. Your kiddos, when they're older, can just kind of suck on it as is, but these spoons also do fit this pouch. So again, they screw on, and if I had food in here, I could just push this and out through the hole would it come, and we could just feed our kiddos that way until this is entirely empty. Now, I've seen other products that have caught my eye, and I haven't purchased them yet because I don't really need them right now. But if my mind changes and I find an even better version of these pouches, I will let you guys know, especially, you know, if and when we get pregnant again. I much prefer this method with the little spoon compared to having to scoop out with a spoon all the time and keep feeding the baby that way. This is so much easier because you just pinch and your spoon is ready to be put back in the baby's mouth very quickly and usually with less mess. And that wraps up today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If not, you can give it a thumbs down. I think that actually still kind of contributes to my channel and shows that people are engaging. If you are new here, I would love for you to stick around. I have a variety of videos and a playlist for pretty much all things mom. So if you just want recipes, I have a playlist with all my recipes there. If you want to see anything that Aubrey appears in, you can click on the Aubrey Reel playlist. I also have another series that I did a while ago, and I really enjoyed doing it. It was one where I just tried new things, and I tried making sourdough, and that turned out to be pretty good. I've made it a lot since then, and among like other things, changing my car's oil and whatnot. So make sure you guys go check those videos out if you guys haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day. To the end of the video. If you didn't know already, my name is Emily from Limabean Living. Welcome. We are so happy to have you. We post videos every Monday and Friday on a variety of content: lifestyle, cooking, cleaning, military life, DIYs, encouraging mathematical development in children, and so much more. Thank you so much again for watching, and until next time.